Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Anisa, and don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, and ring the bell. I upload every Wednesday and Sunday, and I go live every Friday. So ring the bell so you get notified of that. Everything I've linked to will be linked to down below in the description, and I will be using Nailitlike Lucy Optic White, JCBC Concepts Cover Blush, and I will be using a Beetles brush, and it is a number 10, I believe, in this video. And I will be also using the JCBC Concepts monomer, and for this video I will be doing 2 Frenches and 2 V-cuts. For the V-cuts I will be using my X-Acto knife. I got this from Walmart, but you can get a Dollar Tree one, dollar store one, they do the same thing. And I have a clear base underneath, and I'm using my practice hand. And it was so easy for me to sculpt out these Frenches for whatever reason. I did, in my opinion, only for me, make them too high. And I'm behind on my I Made It Mondays. This is an I Made It Monday from like a long time ago. This video was already recorded. I just needed to edit it and do the voiceover, so that's what I'm doing right now. I didn't go live last Friday, and I also didn't upload on last Sunday either. I had a lot of stuff to do, and editing, it takes time with this because you have to let it render and do this and do this. And I thought I was prepared, but I was not, so sorry about that. But everything should be, and I say this every time, it should be back to normal for me and my uploading. I will be doing my I Made It Mondays that I have missed, which is just one. It's just the swirl, and the new I Made It Monday was uploaded like today. Today's Tuesday that I'm doing this voiceover, so that one is marbling, so I'll be doing that like today. So yeah, sorry I get out of frame just a little bit during a couple of shots, but I will pop back in here when I have something more to say. So in order to help me with the cuts as well, I went ahead and dipped it into my monomer, because like you see, boom, it just peeled off so easily once I dipped it into my monomer. And I did cross just like a little bit, like I bumped into it on accident, because I was like excited, because like, did you see how easy that came off? Like, it came off so easily. Usually it does anyways, but that monomer technique, because typically I dip it into the powder or I dip it into nothing, but I wanted to try it out with the monomer, and it worked very well. So yeah, I'll be back when I have something else to say. So as you saw my V-cut, I put down like a general, like I generally covered the whole tip with the acrylic, and then I cut it out when the acrylic turned, well, it was starting to turn matte. It wasn't like that nice stage, because if you wait for it to dry for too long, it's going to be very hard to cut and it's not going to come out clean. But if you wait too, like before it's time to cut it, like it's too runny still, you're not going to do anything to that nail but make a mess. So I recommend you just mess around with it. And the Frenchies were my favorite that I've ever done, I think. I just did them, like I wasn't nervous about it, it just kind of happened. And I was like, okay, like this is going very well. And so you can see here, I covered the tip, and you want to make it pretty thick, like regular thickness, I'd say. And I made these too thin, so that was my problem. And then like you can see, boom, it easily just peels off. And you want to get off all the little bits. You can end up filing those off, but I prefer to scrape them off now while they're still like malleable, so it's not as difficult and I don't have to do as much filing. But it'll, if you make it the proper thickness you need it to be, you just have to do that one impression into the V-cut, and you don't have to go back in and risk adding too much acrylic and having to recut again. So, or like making it go crooked or making it do this. So if you get that thickness right, then you should be good. And then some people, they build like the entire nail and then go back in and cut it. But I noticed with my monomer and my speeds and all that, it doesn't work out too well for me. So you want to wait and make sure your nails are dry before you start the file. I will be filing with a Carlash 8080 grit hand file, and you can see I tapped on the nail to make sure it was dry. And the key with the V-cuts and the Frenches is filing. Even though I thought the Frenches looked immaculate, like in the beginning, like before filing and everything, I still filed them just so I can get a straight, sharp line, because that's how you're gonna get a defined, like pink, like nude area and white, like that. I would say the distinct smile line. That is how you're gonna get it. So even if you think, oh, it looks good, it might not be as sharp. And I think it's because if it's not as sharp for me, it's because I didn't file it properly to where it's that straight line sticking up, which is what I notice when I do it myself. So yeah, I'm just gonna go in and make sure everything is the way that I want it to be and get it all nice and straight, round out the smile line, make sure they match up, all that good stuff. And then I will be back with my, at this point, the color application. I think I already mentioned it, but you want to make sure before you go in and file that is 100% dry, because if it is the tiniest bit, like you see I was tapping it right there to make sure, and I had like a little bit of acrylic left at the tip, so I made sure to get that first. And if it is in like a gummy state, like right before it like starts to get hard, it's in that weird little gummy state and you think it's dry but it's not. So wait, because what it will do if you do it too early is it'll peel up that acrylic, and you want to make sure you dust off the nails super well. Move your powders out the way so there's no dust getting into it. If you do get filings or dust or anything into your monomer or your powder, I just scoop it out. So I like wet my brush like I'm about to pick up a bead and just pick it out like that. That's how it goes quick. And with my application of the white, so this nail for whatever reason turned out really wide, and when you put it on the sides and you don't encapsulate, you're filing it off the side. So you want to make sure you file it at an even level. But I was just nervous that it was going to file weird, so I kind of left this one wide, and that was part of the reason why I didn't like this set at all, which is mainly because of that one nail. And the other V-cut nail, from certain angles, from like the way I'm looking right now, it didn't look crooked. Like looking at this angle, like a top-down angle, it doesn't look crooked. So when I was looking at it at other angles, it was crooked, and it was bothering me because it's acrylic, like it's already done, you can't change it. So that's why you need to make sure you get it 100% centered, or it's going to be crooked and it'll throw the whole design off. Like it'll look so weird to you that you're just like, okay, something's wrong here, what did I do wrong? But it's helpful to look back at it and see like, oh, this is what I did wrong. So I was using Nailitlike Lucy Optic White, and it is one of my favorite whites. I talk about this all the time. She has one of my favorite systems. And now I'm using a Kiss Acrylic. It's a pink color. And this is from my local beauty supply. It is a dip powder. And it works so well as acrylic, even though it's not marketed as acrylic. It sets up just fine with regular hardness, everything. It doesn't dry super quick. It dries like, it's actually slower drying than the Nailitlike Lucy. Well, Nailitlike Lucy compared to this would dry on the faster side. If you don't want to do too much filing, then don't put it everywhere. Like, don't put it like completely on top of the nail bed. But at the same time, you want to make sure you push it up against that smile line, like the what would it be considered at this point, like the nail bed. You want to make sure it pushes up all the way against that line. And if it doesn't, then it'll be weird when it comes time to file, that I am showing you because I didn't show you in the beginning. And in order to get all this acrylic off the top, right, I could have gone in with a more abrasive bit, like a coarse or a medium or something like that, but I didn't want to risk putting any, like, taking off too much. So what I went ahead and did was use my Pana 5-in-1 fine grit, and I just turned up the speed, and I used a little bit more pressure than I usually do, and it worked perfectly. So what I'm doing is I'm bringing that nail bed, like the V-cut, bless you, I'm bringing the V-cut down to the white's level instead of bringing it up, because on this one I built it up thicker on purpose, and same thing with the nail beds, I actually built it up thicker. My only like miss was the pink nail, or what turned out to be the pink nail. That one I built it way too thin the first time, so had to build that up. And I build up my like V-cuts or my nail bed, like my nude color, higher on purpose, so it can kind of like meet and match it up to there. So I know it's gonna be crisp, I know it's gonna look good, instead of bringing it all the way up to the thickness of that nude, because the nude I put it thicker purposefully so it gives me like a little bit of room to file just in case, and it helps me bring out that line like I keep saying. But yes, this whole part is just me getting off the excess acrylic, like the excess pink and white and all that stuff. And I'm also, like, you see that little thing was getting in the way, that it's used to protect the drill from dust, the handpiece from dust. So that's what that little piece is for. And you can see that I have it out further than I typically do, and that's just for like movement purposes, because I need to go from the back of the nail to the front of the nail, and I need to have it out further. For me personally, I need to have it out further than I typically use it, so I can really take down that bulk and start trying to get a nice reveal. So I will be back during the next step, and there also is no top coating, but I did eventually top coat it in matte top coat, but I took that off and put glossy on it, but I didn't put that in here. So after the filing part, like the shaping with the hand file, that will be the end of the video. So now I'm going in with my Carlash 8080 grit hand file, again the same one from earlier, and I'm just reshaping the nails the way that they were originally, pretty much. And if there's any little bit still left. I still have to get that up with this hand file. And I like the drill better because it's faster and I have more control, I feel, versus me using my hand file. I'm good at it because like everyone's good at it, right? Like after you learn how to do it, you're good at it. But I don't know. It's just something about my hand file I don't like. So, well, hand filing, I should say. I don't like hand filing. It feels weird to me. So now I'm using my ceramic drill bit. This comes in a set with the other ceramic drill bits. It's from Easy Basket, and I get it from Amazon. And this was just because I was, like I said, pushing hard, doing all that stuff. I could have used that sanding band I had right there, but I saw the ceramic one first. Well, I picked it up first, so I went ahead and used it. And it does the exact same thing as that sanding band, but I feel like the sanding band actually does more, to be honest with you. But this is just getting out those deep scratches in the nail left by the hand file and my previous 5-in-1 bit. So as you can see, I'm flipping the nail over and filing the free edge and also kind of the surface of the nail, because sometimes you can see more from this perspective than the other perspective, and it just shows you what the client or the other person would see, because I'm seeing it at my angle, and at my angle you can see I stopped filing, so I thought it looked good, but this angle, it looks completely different. Like, and not in a bad way, but I mean, like, it just shows you a different perspective on the nails, which you need. If you keep it looking at one and they leave, they might be like, oh, now that I look at it, it might not be right. You know what I mean? So that was pretty much it for this video. It was very basic, very simple. I've already done both of these designs on my channel. This was I Made It Monday, like I said. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Here I am going in with my 180 grit sanding band, because like I said, the other ceramic drill bit, in my opinion, it does like nothing. So I'll see you guys in my next video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I upload every Wednesday and Sunday, and I go live every Friday, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.